Oh my goodness. What a day. Jeez. Wait a minute. Has this gone from the hottest day ever yesterday to maybe the coldest day ever today? Climate change, everybody shouts. Just the way the world. Just the way it is, I suppose. You're going to have days when you're like that. It's like everybody saying the housing market's going to crash, the housing market's going to crash, the housing market's going to crash, the housing market's going to crash. Aye, if you keep saying that, at some point the housing market will crash and you will be right. But I'll tell you, the housing market's booming, the housing market's booming, the housing market is booming. So I've gotten the link here, the housing market is definitely still booming. Halifax House Price Index was out yesterday. Let's have a wee read through this and see how we're getting on with it, and I'll tell you all about it. And I'll show you some of the charts as well, actually. House prices hit a record in August, a record high. But the pace of annual growth continues to slow. So the average house price is now, across Britain, £262,954. That's average. The monthly change is 0.7% plus. The quarterly change is 1.2% plus in terms of house prices. The annual change is 7.1% in terms of house prices. I'll tell you now, our Cooper office is 16% house price average above, and our Leaving office is 7%. So the Leaving office is on the average, the Cooper office is on 16%. So we're getting astronomical prices over home report value for our properties. So the average UK property price is now its highest on record ever. Annual house price inflation slows to further 7.1%. Wales remains strongest region or nation. I would beg to differ. I would say it's East Fife. London continues to lag. There's no surprise there. London's always been the poor relation sometimes. London's always the first city in the UK to actually show house price growth coming through, and London is usually the first city to show the house prices are starting to cool off. Whether that lag will continue, I don't know. I'm not particularly sure about that. But they seem to be building quite a lot of houses in the London area, and there is a surplus. And plus the fact you've got all the foreign investors now are getting nailed to the wall for investing in Britain in terms of property. So that might actually put quite a big supply in the London market, therefore curtailing their house price rises. The only way to sort out house price rising is actually to provide more housing. It's not to kick the people that have got houses just now and make them sell. It's actually to build more houses in the areas that need it the most. You know who you are. East Fife, North East Fife. Most places actually. Because the Scottish government's to keep up with 25,000 houses a year to build. And they've only ever got to about 22 at the very most. Most of the time they've only ever got 15,000 houses built a year. Between all the private house builders, social housing and also council housing. I differentiate. Council housing to me is actually the true social landlords. Social housing's the housing associations. They're kind of in between a private landlord and a council landlord. And the private house builders, obviously, that's, you know what that is. That's people like Campion, the Lomond Group, Muir Homes, people like that. Okay, so average house prices have risen to their highest point ever on record. Rapid gains over the past 12 months. August rise was relatively modest, and annual house price rate of house inflation continued to slow, hitting a five-year low of 7.1%. It's not exactly a low, is it? Much of the impact of the stamp duty holiday has now left the market. I'll be honest and say I think the stamp duty holiday had no bearing on the Scottish housing market at all, because the most you could ever save with the stamp duty holiday was £2,100, because we only ever got an exemption up to 250,000, which meant that was it. So everything up to 250,000 from 140,000 was the saving, which was £2,100. So that's all you ever saved by getting your house before the stamp duty deadline ran out. It's not a compelling reason to want to buy a house immediately and make a decision on the spot. We believe structural factors have driven record levels of buyer activity, such as demand for more space amid greater home working. Absolutely. I've still never left the house for working from home. It's very rare I'm actually in an office. These tend to look set to persist, and the price gains made since the start of the pandemic are likely to be reversed once the remaining tax break comes to an end later this month. I would agree with that. Tax break they're talking about is the end of the stamp duty holiday. Moreover, macroeconomic environment, all right, let's jump through that. Macroeconomics and all the rest of it. A lot of people don't get that, to be honest. Regions and nations house prices. Wales remains strongest performing area, apparently according to them, with annual house price inflation of 11.6% and the only double-digit rise recorded in UK during August. Well, I've told you what we're getting. The southwest is also experiencing strong growth at 9.6%, likely to reflect ongoing demand for rural living within a region. Hence the reason why we're getting that in the areas of North East Fife and East Fife is because it's a rural area and they're in the highest demand. Some areas do appear to have headroom for even stronger price growth, with annual house price inflation in the northeast is up 8%. Northern Ireland also see prices rise further, and annual house price inflation to 9.3% in August, though Scotland has seen house price growth slow to 8.4%. That's still a good house price rise, considering a year ago everybody was beating the drum saying house prices were going to crash. So, Greater London continues to lag behind the rest of the country. Yeah, we know that. And key facts. So let's look at some charts. I'll get this on the screen in a minute. Okay, so let's flip the camera around. Let's have a look at some charts. Here we go. This is the house price index. So this is it from August last year. You can see there it goes from 423 to 453. A standard price, average price goes from 245,602 to 262,954 in a year. The monthly change, the quarterly change, and you can see the yearly change. The annualised one is 7.1%. There's the charts there in a graph form, change of seasonally adjusted house prices. See, seasonally adjusted, they adjust them and put various factors in to take out massive swings and to smooth everything out. If anybody's done statistical analysis before, the figures are smoothed so you don't see big huge jumps. They take out one-offs. It will influence it without knowing. Okay, and then on the back, this is actually a really good revealing figure. This shows you the average stock of homes for sale. So this shows you where the demand is. Look at the average stock of homes for sale in July 2010. So basically, average stock of homes for sale per surveyor, so that's the surveyors that actually go out and do surveys, is 70. Now look how it drops. 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20 and 21. We're literally down at next to nothing. Look at that. So we've gone from 70 in the 10-year period to round about, I would say that's about 40. So near enough half. So over the 10-year period, stock has halved, and therefore demand is actually doubled as well. We've seen that in terms of website activity, and Rightmove report that as well. Website activity has gone up quite substantially. So what does all this mean? The boom's here to stay. We're still keeping going like this. It's never going to change unless the introduction of more supply into the housing market comes on board. And I can't see that happening anytime soon. As long as the number of house transactions and the number of houses stay the same every single week, which I do my weekly update, the number of houses in stock in the marketplace is only ever going to be about 1 month's supply. So on average, every single estate agent in Fife, right across the board, sell round about just over 500 properties every single month between us all. And that just so happens to be round about the same amount of properties that get listed every single month. So we're not getting any more surplus in the market in terms of housing supply. Therefore, the housing demand is going up because more and more people. I mean, you can't really stop your family growing. So you can't really stop your kids coming along. You can't stop your kids growing up. So therefore, you have to move for circumstances. Nobody really moves because they just out the blue say, I tell you what, I just want a different house. There's always a reason why they want a different house, and it's always down to circumstances. So that is why the boom will be here to stay, coupled with unemployment at a stable amount, at basically about 5% or thereabouts. So the unemployment's around about there, inflation's under control, and the Bank of England interest rates are still at a record low level. You're literally getting 5-year mortgages just now at 1.49%. 1.49% a 5-year mortgage. That is unbelievable. But they're out there, and that's buy to let. So what do you think it's going to be like for a person buying their first property for the first time? It's still going to be really low rates and low figures. So record low interest rates, record availability of credit as well. That's the most important thing. If the credit's still there, the market will still go. And a record amount of people chasing fewer properties is a recipe for a boom. I'd be interested to know your thoughts on this as well. If you think the boom's going to continue, if you think the housing market's going to crash, maybe we should have a wee open debate about it. So yeah, make some comments. Let's hear your thoughts.